Welcome back. This is GREI Club, and today we'll be talking about why Austin is special and what are some of the advantages of investing around that area. So, this is a picture of Austin and the numerous tech companies that inhabit it. This is excellent because industry is the lifeblood of any city. Now, this is a picture of the unemployment trends going back to 2014. And you can see Austin in the green, Texas in the yellow, and the US in the red. And you'll see historically Austin has done a really good job of keeping their unemployment low relative to both Texas and the US. Why is Austin special? First and foremost, we can point to its diverse economy. As you saw in the previous slide, there's a huge tech presence here, and pretty much every big name in tech has already established itself here. If not, they have a development project in the works to entrench themselves here. On the education front, you have the University of Texas at Austin. This is a top-ranked U.S. university, and people from all over the country are paying to attend this institution. It brings in a lot of revenue in housing, tuition, and just general spending. And as you probably know, Austin is the capital of Texas, so there's a lot of government jobs and government-adjacent jobs to keep the economy running. Next, you have your lower cost of living. Houses here are just that much more affordable, and you also have low gas prices, which translates to a more affordable commute and easier access to recreation. Texas is one of the 7 states in the U.S. to not have no state income tax, and many believe that this is a huge boon because ultimately people just spend more if they feel they have more. There's easy access to nature in Austin. Tons of lakes and parks here, so there's always something to do, whether you're hiking, biking, sailing, canoeing, or attending a music festival. Always something to do. And last but not least, the most important thing, the laws here are generally very landlord friendly. So if you're an investor, that's important. Say your tenant doesn't pay on time, or you have repairs to do, or there's just some tenant-landlord dispute, the laws are just generally very forgiving towards landlords. So numerous tech giants have made it clear that they're going to make their presence felt in Austin. Apple, for example, has already had their new production facility break ground, and it's slated to be ready in 2022. Google has signed a lease for a building that's in construction. They're going to have 35 stories over there coming to 2023. Oracle's also going to be there, and Tesla has a new production facility, a new gigafactory that they've already bought like 2,100 acres there, and it's already broken ground. And finally, Amazon has a new fulfillment center that's in production right now. So let's take a look at the real estate health of Austin relative to other major cities. Now we have Austin there in the purple, trailed by Houston in the green, Chicago in another shade of purple, San Francisco in the yellow, and New York in the blue. Now we can obviously see come the time in April, none of these cities were insulated from the effects of the pandemic. But you can see that Austin rebounded the quickest, followed by Houston. And again, this fits in with our narrative that Texas is a very desirable place. Chicago also managed to rally a bit, but you can see their rebound was nowhere as quick. And you can see San Francisco and New York are still reeling from last year. Now let's look at some year-over-year data. You'll see that from 2019 to 2020, list price has gone up, price per square foot has gone up, sold price has gone up. All these things have gone up, and that just speaks to the appreciation of owning property over here. The only thing that's gone down, you'll see the DOM, which means the days on the market. Again, alluding to the fact that these properties are very desirable. Alright, so now let's take a look at the months of inventory for the Austin market. So what months of inventory means is that at any given time, if there's no additional properties added onto the market, this is how long it would take for the rest of the inventory to sell out. Anytime you see a months of inventory rating between 0 and 4, that the prevailing wisdom says that it's a seller's market. Now, you can see for the past 2 years, it's been a seller's market. And this kind of, again, speaks to the desirability of owning property in Austin. Here we see a months of inventory heat map. Austin is in Travis County, and there's a lot of good cities around Williamson County as well. And you can see all the properties here are really red hot. Red meaning they have only 0 to 1 months of inventory. Okay, so now let's look at some year-to-year data again. This is pretty much indicating sales volume. The big takeaway from this is 2020 is still a good year and the market is still hot. If you look at from July to last July, or from last July to this July, there's been like a 10% increase on pretty much all the sales. Obviously this year to date, the year's not over yet, but we're not too far behind 2019. And that's pretty good considering we've been in a pandemic. So just wanted to go over some of the prominent cities around Central Texas. We'll start most south at Pflugerville. Now Pflugerville's been around for a long while, and currently its population's around 80,000. Decent household income and commutable to a lot of the tech companies. But the problem is it's not going to be easy acquiring property over in Pflugerville. A lot of the good stuff's already been taken up. We go a little bit farther to the north, we'll see Round Rock, even more populous, 134,000 people, comparable household income to Pflugerville, and again, very commutable as all these 4 cities are. The one issue is land is super scarce there, and again, it's going to be difficult acquiring property. We go a little bit farther northeast to Hutto, and you can see it's an up and coming city, but it's not quite there yet. Population's sitting just under 30,000, and the household income's less than the prior 2 cities. There is up and coming development there, but it's gonna take a little bit of time. We go farther northwest, and we'll hit Leander. Now, in my opinion, Leander's definitely the city that's ripe for the picking. It's experienced massive population growth over the past decade, and it has the highest household income of the 4 cities we showed here. Another major thing to be aware of is they have a major development deal in the Northline downtown redevelopment. So there's going to be a huge influx of money and jobs over there. So Northline is going to be Leander's new downtown district. Back in March, they actually already broke ground on this $715 million project in the 115-acre space. As you can see, this will be a mixed-use project. So they will have retail, they'll have dining, housing, and office spaces, all which is intended to transform Leander's character. Just 10 years ago, they only had something to the tune of like 20,000 people as far as population, but they've grown by at least 50,000 since then. There is also going to be a Cap Metro commuter rail line which runs through it. So it's going to provide a lot of transportation for their booming population and the increasing number of tech companies that are going to be there. Plans for a $100 million hospital campus has also been announced. Amazon has announced that it will be opening an 820,000 square foot fulfillment center sometime in the 2021 timeframe in Pflugerville. It's expected to create about 1,000 jobs, and there's a possibility the fulfillment center may eventually expand to 3.8 million square feet, as this was what was originally detailed in the construction permit. Amazon will be spending $250 million on this project. And you probably heard about this one in the news. Construction's already underway on the Tesla Austin Gigafactory. Just to give you a little perspective on how monumental this upcoming Tesla factory is going to be, this will be built on 2,100 acres of land, and it's going to be the first facility open to the public. So this very well could be a tourist attraction in addition to a manufacturing facility. It definitely dwarfs the California, the Berlin, and Shanghai factories. Tesla spent nearly $1 million, just $100 million acquiring the land, but the final bill is expected to be around $1.1 billion on this project. Tesla has hinted that it plans to have the facility up and running as early as Q4 of 2021, and the facility should create about 5,000 jobs just to start.
So let's start with our first floor plan. It's coming in at 1,645 square feet, 3 bed, 2 bath. Let's say you're already decided on your location and your price point is already within your comfort zone. Then the most important thing is making sure your floor plan is something you can live with and something you think that will have good resale value and utility, so that you can get the most rent, and when you sell it, you get the most money back. If you look down at management fee, you'll notice that it's $75 a month. This is a flat rate, and we only have this because of our special relationship with the property management company that we've used on numerous properties. We found that they're really reliable and trustworthy, so we've used them very frequently. So typically, management fees are going to range from 8 to 10% of your rental, and this is much under that. So if you're interested in using our property management company, reach out to us. You're gonna see that the year one equity, they call out the ROI to be about 5%, and then the 5-year price appreciations called out to be about 34%, and the 10-year price appreciation is projected at 87%. This is a nice floor plan. You do have an island there, and you have a very open floor plan when it comes to the family dining room, kitchen area. And the only one drawback is you don't have a study in this plan. But if you like the price point, then this one makes sense. So here's our second floor plan, coming in at 1,771 square feet. Again, 3 bed, 2 bath, just like the previous floor plan. But for roughly $12,000 more, you are getting a flex room in the front by the porch. And this can double as a home office and makes a lot of sense if you're going to be renting to a tech worker. Another thing to pay attention to is you're going to get a peninsula in the kitchen instead of an island. The kitchen, dining room, family room, they're all in a straight shot. There's no walls there, so it's still an open floor plan, but it's going to feel a little bit different than the previous floor plan, which had everything spaced out a little bit more and not in a straight shot. So year one ROI is called out to be 4.76%. 5-year appreciations projected to be about 26%, and the 10-year price appreciations projected at 86%.
So here's our third floor plan, coming in at 1,966 square feet. Still 3 bed, 2 bath, still single story home, just like all the previous floor plans we've seen so far. Major difference is the square footage. This is fairly large for a single story home. You do have a study, a 12 by 11 study right next to the garage. So if you need a home office, you are equipped. If you look at the hallway, you'll notice it's fairly traditional and straight shot with the bedrooms and the study on either side, and it opens up into a more open floor plan once you hit the dining room, family room, kitchen area. Year one equity ROI is projected to be a little bit under 5%. The 5-year price appreciation is projected to be 26.5, and finally the 10-year appreciation, we're projecting it to be about 101%. And finally, we come to our fourth floor plan, which comes in at 2,532 square feet. So that's a lot more square footage for just $14,000 more compared to the last floor plan. Immediately, the starkest difference is this is a 2-story home, whereas all the previous floor plans we looked at were single-story. You're going to have 1.5 baths on the first floor and then a full bath on the second floor. Majority of the bedrooms are going to be on the second floor, whereas the master is going to be on the first floor. Major difference, you also have a game room on the second floor, and this would be looks like it could be a large communal area. You do have a dining room situated in the front, and you have a nook which looks like it could also double as a dining area right next to the kitchen. So the year one ROI would come in at a little bit under 7%. 5-year price appreciation is projected to come in at about 17%, and then the 10-year appreciation should come out to be about 110%. If you have any questions about what we talked about today, you want to talk about your own situation, or you're ready to purchase a property in Austin, please reach out to Monica. Her contact information is on the slide. And be sure to visit greiclub.com for more information about our next event that's held over Zoom. Thanks.